Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I am doing a 1-year review of the Givenchy Antigona bag. I've actually had this for a little bit over a year. I got it late in 2018, but I want to share my opinion on it, pros, cons, wear and tear, things like that. But before we get started, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And if you like videos like this, don't forget to subscribe. I post videos on fashion and luxury once a week, so join the family. With that out of the way, let's just get started. So as I mentioned, it's the Givenchy Antigona bag, and this is in the size small. So you have the mini and then you have the medium, which is the largest. It's a bit confusing. Anyways, this is the size small. I'll put like sizes, measurements somewhere on the screen or down below. This bag comes in box leather, which is this shiny, and then in a pebble leather, which I think is called sugared leather. I'll show you in the wear and tear, but I know a lot of people are concerned about getting this one in the shiny, any bag really in a shiny leather, because it will scratch, but I haven't gotten a single scratch on this bag. It's very scratch resistant. It's much more durable than you would think, so I wouldn't be that worried. Anyways, I'll get to that in the wear and tear part of this video. I can't remember the exact amount I paid for this bag. I think it was 1100 something. I had a 10% off coupon code, and that price was also without tax. But I will suggest that if you can, wait to get this bag on sale. I know they do go on sale every now and again, especially for Black Friday sales and things like that. Especially if you are the kind of person that doesn't want to hold on to your bags for too long. I would gladly have paid full price for this because I think it's such a good quality bag, and I intend to have it for a very, very long time, as long as I can really. But if you do like to resell your bags and kind of rotate a little bit more, then you may want to buy this pre-loved or definitely get it on sale, because the resale value isn't like amazing for the Antigona bags. So if you've seen any of my other bag reviews, you know that I really scrutinize bags, not to be mean or overly picky, even though I am picky. I just want you to know what I truly think of the bag, and I know that I did a lot of research before I bought this bag, and there are some things I would have liked knowing before I bought it. It wouldn't have stopped me from buying it, but maybe it will stop you, you know? So I just want to share everything I like and don't like about this bag, so don't take this as being overly critical. I still really like this bag. So first off, this is not a light bag. I've been holding this for all of what, 2 minutes or something, and my arm is already kind of like cramping up and dying at the thought of holding this bag for the entire video. But it's not super heavy. I'm kind of exaggerating, but I want to mention it because I know some of you guys have told me before that you have issues with your shoulders or your back and things like that. And in that case, I would probably try to make it to a store so you can try it on and see what the weight is really like, because the bag is full leather. It is very structured, and structured bags just tend to weigh more. There is more leather. There's just more going on, and this one is no exception. It is kind of, I can definitely feel it even without anything in, and when I fill it up, it's not a light bag. And if you do a lot of walking, it might be like you might feel it in your shoulder. So I just want to mention that it's not a deal breaker for me, but it's not super heavy, but it's definitely not a light bag. Another thing I want to mention is that it's kind of slightly high maintenance in that you need both hands to open this bag, because it is so structured that like you cannot just do that with one hand. It definitely takes 2 hands, and then to open it as well, again, because it is so structured, which I really like, but you kind of need both hands to kind of hold it open a little bit. And talking about opening the bag, I know a lot of people have said that this zipper, because it is really chunky, has scratched them when they're going in and out of the bag. To me, it's not scratchy at all. It's not scratchy at all. I've never had an issue with that at all. What I don't like that much, however, is that the opening is kind of tight. Hopefully you can see that. So even using both hands, I'm not using a lot of pressure, you know, but you don't want to break your bag either. The thing is, it's kind of larger in the bottom, so some items that might fit will not fit through the opening. Does that make sense? The next thing is one that I haven't seen anyone talking about, but as you can see, the bag is kind of wide, and if you walk out in public, or especially if you are on public transport a lot, at least I just get worried, people on bikes, people walking really close to me, kind of pushing into me, I get worried that they will scratch the bag because it is so wide. It kind of sticks out from your body a little bit. It's not like a flat crossbody that you can even just hide under your coat. So that just makes it a little bit more prone to being hurt by the environment, because why on earth would other people care about whether they scratch your bag or not? Why would they do that? They don't know how much you paid for it. So that's just one thing to keep in mind if you are on public transport a lot, and if you know that you can tend to worry about those things. Another thing you might be able to see, it's actually not that dusty right now, but because it is so shiny, dust really shows up. It might not be a big deal for you. Again, I am picky, so it doesn't bother me, but I definitely dust it off quite frequently because it shows up just like a sore thumb because it is so shiny and beautiful. It is really easy to dust off though, and the same thing goes for rain or water. I've used this bag in any kind of weather, so snow and rain and anything. And it's been fine. And what I do is that as soon as I get inside, I just dry it off, and I haven't gotten any water spots at all, or snow spots. Is that a thing? No water spots, no mark from the elements basically. And I think that's been really good. I have sprayed it with Carbon Pro. I think that really helps. I do that for pretty much all my bags. It really feels low maintenance in that I don't have to worry about getting caught in a rainstorm with this bag because it's always been fine. The hardware, as you can tell, is a really prominent feature of this bag. The zipper is really chunky. I think it's so cool, but because it is so big, you can actually see it when it gets dirty because it's kind of easily to see. You do have to be close to it. Nobody else will see it, but if you are annoyed by that, just know that I just take a Q-tip and kind of rub it over, so even the zipper teeth get dirty, and then, not the zipper pull, but whatever this metal thing here is, and I just rub it with a Q-tip and it's clean again. Also, the strap, which has these really cool metal features here. Again, they get dirty. Maybe you can even see it from there because I haven't cleaned them in a while. One thing you might have already seen people kind of complain about when it comes to this bag is the feet. As you can see, can you see that? Let me see. There. So you can see these are leather feet, and it just goes without saying that metal is more durable than leather. So if this one had metal feet, I would worry less about where I put it down on the floor. Now I'm always kind of looking because it just takes like a small like gravel or something, and if it's tiny and you can't see it, it can still make a dent in the leather. And I think as soon as these start to wear and look kind of ratty, the bag will just the value will go down, and I'll just be really annoyed. And I don't know if you can exchange these, like have them replaced, so I just have to be a lot more careful when I put it down anywhere. And I have this bag holder or bag hook, like this little thing, and it's tiny, so I just always keep this in the bag. If I'm going out somewhere, if I'm going to a restaurant, I don't want to put the bag on the floor. First of all, I don't want to do that with any of my bags, but especially for this one, because I know that the leather on the bottom can scratch easily. I think this is really genius. So it's this circle right here, and then it opens up really easily like that. So you have a hook, and then you just put the bag in there, and then you can just hook that onto a table like that. Does that make sense? I think that's really genius. I use this for a lot of my bags, but I always keep one of these in my Antigona. I'll link where I got it down below so you can check it out. Alright, so let's get on to some of the things I really love about this bag, because none of the cons I have talked about would make me not want to buy this bag or regret buying this bag, because I still really love it. First of all, look at it. It's such a snack. It's so cute. And on top of that, this bag is just so incredibly well made. This feels like such a high quality bag. Not a single stitch popped or sewn incorrectly. Everything just looks perfect on this bag, and it has kept looking that way. It's so durable. And the structure on this bag is just so yummy. Can I gush any more about how much I love the look and quality of this bag, which is really what pulls it up. And I think this bag is just such a great bag if it's one of your first as well, because the size is great. You can carry a lot in it. It's not like a tiny bag, you can only have your essentials. You can really use this for a lot of different things. It's obviously not a going out bag or a huge, like you can't fit your laptop in this bag, but it does suit a lot of different occasions. And I think it's really, really great. It hasn't at all lost its shape. Even if I hold it by the top handle like that, the bottom doesn't sag at all. It's really stiff and really, really durable. I have heard that when you wear the strap, let's see, some people say that if you carry it by the strap, so the shoulder strap, a lot with a lot of heavy things, it can lose its structure. I think that applies more to the pebble leather, but either way, I have never been able to stuff it as much that it starts to kind of sag at all. And let's talk about this strap for a minute, okay? I know that a lot of people have complained that on the Mini, the strap has unhooked because it doesn't have a spring hook, which I really like. I don't think spring hooks feel very luxurious. I know they are sometimes necessary, but for me, I just think this one is so much more, it just feels more luxurious and it's unique. So it has these like, I don't even know what to call them. It's kind of like a dent in the D-ring, and then you just slide them in. It's very easy, like you will understand how to put it on. Let me do the other. So like that. And I want to say that this bag has never ever unhooked. The strap has never come undone. So the strap is super easy to take on and off, really fuss free. I've had no issues with it. The only kind of negative thing is that when I take it off and roll it up, put it into the bag, it does take a little bit of space, but honestly that's on me. I could just leave that strap at home. So it's really nothing to complain about. I know a lot of people recommend others take the pebbled leather because they won't scratch as easily. And while that may be true for other bags, box leather is not all created equal. And this is box leather, so it's treated. And some box leather items will scratch very easily. This one is treated, so it doesn't seem to do that. And I've seen reviews of other bags in this finish, and if you go on to Fashionphile or any kind of pre-loved site and then you look at the specific bag you want, it will tell you a lot about how it wears. Let me just give you that tip. So this one really doesn't scratch easily. Obviously I wouldn't take my keys to it. I wouldn't, like, it's not canvas, let's be real, but it really is, to me it feels very scratch resistant. And when I look at both pebbled and shiny leather bags pre-loved, I feel like the shiny leather bags hold up better. That's just my opinion. They hold their structure better and they really don't show a lot of wear. So I wouldn't be so worried about scratching it unless you have pets or angry kids. I don't know, like, unless you are like leading a very aggressive lifestyle, I wouldn't worry about this bag because to me it's held up perfectly. Another thing I want to mention is that the quality of the zipper is just excellent. It's so nice and it makes the best sound when you kind of close it or open it. So I'm going to do that. I'll be quiet and then maybe you can hear. It's so smooth. Everything on this bag is just really high quality. The hardware, the leather, the structure, how it's made, the stitching, everything is just so good. Just one tip I have is that put a bag liner in it. I'll see if I can show you like that. So the bag can tend to be, it's lined with black fabric and the bag can tend to be a bit of a black hole, especially the opening is a bit tight and it's just dark and there aren't that many pockets. So I have this bag liner. It's even space for a water bottle right there. It doesn't fit a full-size water bottle there. You will have to have a small one, like a half-size water bottle for it to fit there. I can fit it in if it's not too big in the middle here, but not on the sides because they kind of taper down. My point is, if you get a light bag liner like this, I think this one is from the Bag Club, the bag will be much lighter. It will be so much easier to find your things and kind of just keep it organized and see whatever you have. As when I look into the bag now, I can immediately see what I have, where it is, and I just pick it up. So it's not an issue, but I would have a light bag liner for this. Another thing I want to mention is kind of unintentionally, this bag is a little bit theft proof. My sister discovered this. She's used this bag a lot. She discovered that if you take this zipper pull, so hopefully you can see that, it's black leather, and then you pull it through this D-ring, not the strap, but this D-ring right here, like that. And when you carry the bag, so you can do it without having the strap on as well. If you can see that, this zipper pull is very, like, this bag is just essentially almost impossible to open when you carry this bag like this. It's, how is anybody going to do that, especially without you noticing? That's not going to be easy. It's so, like, it won't even, like, it just physically won't. You have to release the strap, the hands carried strap, and then put up the zipper pull. I just want to mention, I thought it was a kind of a cool little thing that I haven't seen anyone do on this bag before, but my sister discovers things like that, so you know. So we're pretty much at the end. I think I've shared everything I think about this bag, so I just want to give you a look at the wear and tear, and it will be quick. It's essentially non-existent. I've mentioned so many times that this bag is so high quality and it's really durable, and all of those things are really true, and you see that in how little it has worn. And I think the true testament is that I have worn this bag myself, but I've also lent it to my sister, and she has worn it for months at a time. This bag has essentially been worn at least 5 times a week for the full year. She has worn it to work, to uni, to every kind of like outing. She has worn this bag so much, okay? It has, if this was like, oh yeah, I used it a couple times a week, like not even every week, it will be a different conversation. But this bag has been used so much that I think that is just such a testament to how durable it is. I've mentioned there isn't any kind of flaw in the glazing. The glazing hasn't cracked anywhere. There isn't really anywhere on the handles, and I know that at least my sister has hand carried this bag a lot without much protection on the handles at all. As I said, not even a single scratch in the front. The hardware is really the only place that has seen any wear. It's a little, like, you have kind of hairline scratches on it. It's not much. It's definitely nothing compared to the dirt that collects. You see that much more easily. The scratching is so minimal. It hasn't flaked, it hasn't tarnished. There is a tiny mark, like a tiny dot on each of like these leather feet, but it's so small that honestly it could almost have been just part of the leather. Like it's really tiny. It's just been put on, I don't know, there is like a grain of sand or something on the floor and then it sits on top of that. I don't know. It's really tiny. It's in such good condition that if it was properly cleaned, like the metal and no dust or anything, and I received this in the mail, I would think, yeah, that's a new bag. And I think that's really impressive. Overall, it's just in such great condition. I can't really say anything about it at all. I can really recommend getting this bag. I always feel just amazing when I wear it. I think it's so chic. Obviously, consider your lifestyle, whether this bag will work or not, and the size. As I mentioned, I can get like a water bottle that is small in the middle here. I think it's really important to note it does not fit a laptop. Look at the measurements of the bag, use your brain to see whether it will fit like your electronics or not. It does fit my iPad. I can't remember the size, but I'll leave the measurements. And all my other essentials. So I think it holds a decent amount. I'm not going to like go through what's in my bag, first of all, because my hand is really tired of holding this bag right now. But there are a ton of people who have already done that, so I don't think that's really necessary. If you really do want one, just let me know. So I'll do Modshots as well, just for reference. I am 161 centimeters or 5'3" tall, and this bag is really great on me. I think the size up would just be a little bit too large. I mostly carry this by the top handle, but I think it's such a good option to have the strap as well, because it is very useful to be able to be hands-free and carry it however you want. I'm not typically the person who needs bags to go cross-body, but as I said, the mini is probably the way to go if you need that. It is much smaller, but it's the only one that can be carried cross-body. But all in all, this is such an amazing bag. It's definitely one of my favorite. I'm so happy I have it in my collection. It's not going to leave anytime soon. It's so beautiful. I can just see myself wearing this for years and years. I really do think it's become such a classic for Givenchy. So as always, I hope this was really helpful, and don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and have a great day. I hope I'll see you in the next video, and that's it. Bye!